An earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven, and going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. The guards were so afraid of him, they shook and became like dead men. The angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell the disciples, he has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. Now I have told you." So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them. "Greetings," he said. They came to him, clasped his hands, and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me."
Morning.
Morning.
I'm one of those women who followed Jesus. We followed him from Galilee into Jerusalem. We were there watching him as he went through that weekend after he had died. There wasn't much for us to do but wait. After the Sabbath, after that stillness and then the long day of darkness on Saturday, it's a day of grieving. We went to the tomb early that Sabbath. I went to the tomb because that's what faith looked like to me then. Showing up there after everything else that had happened, after everything else had just fallen apart. The Sabbath was over, but the pain from that weekend, it was not. And I couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine anything beyond this loss. We didn't go expecting anything to be different. We went because love refuses to just end. Even when hope has been crucified, he mattered to us. And we refuse to let death just have the final touch on him. We expected the stone to be there. We expected there to be just silence all around us. We expected the sharp, familiar ache that comes when everything is lost. But then when we got there, the ground began to shake. And not a gentle tremor, and it was violent shaking, as if the earth itself were just tearing open. I screamed. I couldn't help it. Fear reached through me because grounds are not supposed to move. And then I saw him, and even when the Lord was descending, and not gently, not quietly, but with the authority of heaven, light flashed like lightning, bright enough to hurt my eyes, terrifying enough to make my knees buckle. And he rolled the stone back, that stone that had felt so final, so immovable, so heavy with grief. Death itself. He rolled it away as if it were nothing, as if death had never stood a chance, and he sat on it. Death under control. Now the guards, those strong armed men, the powers that claimed control, they collapsed. They were powerless. They fell like corpses. And there I was, shaking, crying. The angel looked at us and said, "Do not be afraid." Do not be afraid. My whole head was popping out of my chest. My whole body felt like it shattered. And if this scene wasn't scary enough, fear had been my companion since Friday night. Fear had stood there at the foot of the cross. Fear had watched Jesus' body be wrapped in linen and placed in that tomb. Fear had watched it be sealed. So the angel there did not scold our fear. He named it, and then he dismantled it. The words he said just cracked my grief wide open. He said, "He is not here, for he has been raised," as he said. As he said. Every moment I had not understood, every warning I had just brushed aside, every promise I had been too afraid to trust came rushing back to me all at once. The cross was not God's defeat. It was God's refusal to abandon us to sin and to death. The tomb, it was not the end. It was the place where God broke the cycle of sin and death. It's where Obedience overcame betrayal. It's where love outlasted violence. It's where life refused to stay buried. And the angel invited us to look where he had been laying in that tomb. It wasn't to prove anything, but it was to let truth reform our hearts. The tomb was empty. It was empty. And then came the command from the angel to go and tell. Go and tell, brothers. Go and tell. Jesus will meet them there ahead of them. And resurrection does not end right there at the tomb in our amazement. Resurrection, it creates witnesses. It turns us mourners into messengers. It entrusts the most impossible news to the very ones whose tears still cling to their faces. Well, we ran. We ran with joy, rising faster than we could contain it, with a wild and uncontrollable joy. Amen. As if the moment hadn't already been eventful enough, then Jesus met us on the road. He was alive. It was not just a memory, not a dream that we could wake from. No, reality set in. He wasn't glowing like a ghost, but he was really, really alive. Alive. With the same voice that had once said to us, do not be afraid. And he's now speaking again to us. I fall at his feet because worship is the only response when death has been defeated and life is still there standing in front of you. When all that has created darkness within you has been overcome and the light is flooding in. When love has reached out to you and taken away all that has crushed you. Worship is the only response. And then he sent us. He sent us not back to the tomb, but he sent us forward, ahead of where we are now. Forward, not trapped at the tomb where death resides, not stuck in the past, but moving ahead to life, where Jesus always moves us ahead to new life. So now I go with a story that sounds impossible. I go to tell that story. I go with joy that will not stay quiet. I go with a voice that once trembled in grief, but now must speak life to all. I go because the tomb is empty, because Christ has risen.
Christ has risen.
The earth has shaken, and Jesus is alive. Because resurrection is a commission. It is God declaring that sin no longer defines us, death no longer governs us, and fear no longer claims our future. So if you're here today, fearing the future, carrying grief, thinking there's nowhere for you to go. You're all dead inside and unsure how there could possibly be any hope. Then hear this. Hear this. God has already acted. The tomb is empty and Jesus is alive. And the same power that shook the earth is now loose in the world. Resurrection will meet you on the road. It always does. Jesus waits because Jesus is alive. Christ is risen.
Christ is risen indeed.
Amen. We stand and join together a pre-communion hymn, I Come with Joy.